Bringing hope the world over. Hope Channel.
What if we said you could add 10 years to your life?
What if we said you could reverse your disease? Would you believe us?
Here's a fact. Only half of the world's population right now has a regular bowel movement. Now, if you have too much trash inside your body, it will lead to a toxic environment that would lead to 2.5 million visits to the doctor per year in the United States alone.
But here's a secret. You don't have to be like them. We offer you no laxatives, no enemas, no radical surgery. Just plain, simple, practical advice guaranteed to add not just years to your life, but life to your years. I'm Weanne.
And I'm Mark. And once again, we would like to welcome everybody to another enjoying episode of
Longevity Secrets.
Secrets.
Our topic for today is quite interesting. It's a topic we don't usually talk about over lunch or over dinner. It's our bowel movement.
Yes, that's true, Weanne. And today, we have a story of a 55-year-old female who attended a one-day seminar at the Need Health Ministries Center.
What was her problem?
Now, her problem was she was chronically constipated. She only had one bowel movement every 3 days, and sometimes it would even extend to 4 to 5 days. Now, after being informed that she needs a high-fiber diet to be included in her daily meals, she was able to reduce the number of time between her bowel movements to just 1 day.
So now she can have her bowel movements every day, right?
Yes.
But she
That's
did
true.
not just stop there, ladies and gentlemen. She shared her secrets to her family. You see, she had a sister who only had bowel movements every 5 days. Can you
Wow.
believe that? And she had another sister who had bowel movements every 7 days. That's
Every
one
7
bowel
days.
movement every week.
Wow.
So once she told them of her secrets, these sisters shared these secrets to their daughters. So now their entire family can smile every time they visit the toilet.
Wow,
They
that's-
can now say success.
That's really great, Weanne. Now, to add some more tips on how we could ease the bowel movement every day, here is Dr. Varona, the nutritionist consultant of Need Health Ministries.
You said it right, Weanne, and that is actually the most sensitive topic. And today we would like to share ideas to our viewers that this is actually sensitive, but this is very common. Now, in our survey that we have done in the corporate companies, you will really be surprised that most people are really constipated. Mark was right when he was mentioning earlier that constipation is really almost half. You know, based on our local survey here in Metro Manila, in some parts of the Philippines, you know, to our participants, there are around 38% that are constipated. So meaning, when we say 38%, it's either every other day bowel, you know, every 2 days bowel movement, or, you know, 3 days interval. Or sometimes they have just once a day, but, you know, they have only few stool that's coming out, and they're also considered constipated. And here is actually the best solution for you guys. You know, this sickness is so simple, but, you know, this sickness is actually the gateway to so many problems. You know, if you're constipated, you're really prone to migraine. Those of you who are, you know, experiencing migraine, all we have to do really is to clean the colon, and then later on, you can really experience better feeling. Those of you who have hypertension, and those of you who have diabetes, and those of you who have infections, you try cleaning your colon, and then later on, you will see and experience the benefit of the, you know, the cleaning of all this, you know, toxic substances in your large intestine. So let's try to discover that we too can experience, the benefits of the right diet, especially if you want to prevent constipation. It's just so simple, my friends. We call the management a high-fiber diet. A high-fiber diet can actually clean the colon, and as what we have mentioned in one of our episodes, we were telling you that it is so important to eat fiber-rich food. Okay, there are two kinds of fiber, the soluble and the insoluble, and both of them are really good when it comes to the colon. And we want you to understand that when you have this kind of fiber, you really need to also consider a good water intake. So we would like you to remember to drink your water in between meals. Now, this sickness actually is being neglected by many. But we have to consider also to provide one so important strategy, and this is actually so effective to kids. You have to remember to provide good toilet. Now, I'm appealing right now to the school, administrators, to the university administrators, to the, communities around, especially public places. You really have to provide good bathroom for the kids, good toilets for the kids. And those of you parents listening and viewing our show, we would like to encourage you to provide good toilet, enough to accommodate people around you so that this can actually relieve the pain, relieve the heaviness. Now, when we want to promote fiber, we want you to understand that it must be taken daily. Where can we get fiber? And it's so simple. It's just in plant foods. You can get good amount of fiber from your fruits, from your vegetables, from your grains, especially whole grains, and then from your legumes or beans. Now, comparing the fiber content of an orange to an orange juice, obviously your orange has bigger amount or has better amount of fiber. When you compare your unpolished rice to your white rice, obviously your unpolished rice has good amount of fiber. When you compare your whole kernel corn to the corn chips, definitely the whole kernel corn has, the corn on a cob has good amount of fiber than your corn chips. So these ideas would really give us would really lead us what to choose. And if you have this, you would really experience, healing when it comes to constipation. Again, we would like to remind our viewers that when you have, when you want really to prevent constipation, you're not just preventing constipation, but you're also preventing many chronic diseases. And one of the most deadly chronic diseases that is so popular related to constipation is what we call colonic cancer. And we don't want that to happen. According to Dr. Sinya in his study, those people who are eating large amount of meat and large amount of cheese and dairy products and milk and eggs, they are really high risk when it comes to colonic cancer. It's not only colonic cancer. They also discovered that they are also, high risk to the common sickness which we call diverticulosis. Diverticulosis is just, it's like pouches in your large intestine. And that pouches can actually store, stuck stool. The waste, the excretes are there for a long time, and that can actually hurt you, my friends. So here is another management from Dr. Sinya. After 3 months on a good diet, good fluid intake, it can actually, make your colon back to, at least healthy colon again. So it's so simple. So it is really from fruits and vegetables and nuts and grains and good amount of water. So it's not only that, my friends. When I say it's fiber, the good thing with the plant food, it is not just fiber. Because many people, they keep on, sometimes they look for some products, they rush immediately to the health store and then look for fiber pill or fiber fiber powder, I would recommend that you really need to trust fruits and vegetables and nuts and grains and cereals. Because when you keep on choosing the fiber pill or the fiber powder, it is only fiber. It's void of other nutrients. Unlike when you will be choosing plants, your vegetables and your fruits, it is always loaded with vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals and protection. And when you do this, you will not only correct constipation, but many other chronic diseases. Now, sometimes some people are really following, sometimes laxative. And, as I have seen these patients, you know what? After following, doing their laxative as part of their life, as their part of their routine, later on when they stop the laxative, the more they experience severity in constipation. So I would recommend that, you go back to the natural way. But sometimes, you can use sometimes, but not for a long time. Because if you will be using that for a long time, I'm sure that can actually worsen your condition. So friends, now let's try to venture on the ideas that vegetables and fruits can actually heal this problem. Okay, so go back again to different kinds of vegetables and fruits, and you have to maximize the colors. You have to maximize to enjoy the flavor and the taste and the aroma of vegetables. And I'm sure you would really stick permanently on this kind of lifestyle. You would actually love this kind of diet. Okay, so the protection is just in there. Okay, we have to grab the protection right now. And that is actually the secret when it comes to treating constipation. And you know what? A good colon can actually give you longevity. Okay, carbohydrates is so sure when you have to take that from your plant foods. By the way, fiber is, okay, that's another kind of carbohydrate. And that is your fuel food, that is your energy food. But sometimes some people are eating energy food, but sometimes they remove the portion of that fiber food, which is the most important one. Then when we teach diet, when we teach in our cooking class, we teach you how to really eat the skin of the potato, and that actually has higher amount when it comes to fiber. Okay, we teach you how to eat the skin of the potato, the sweet potato, and as much as possible, if you can eat the whole food, okay, those those skins of the fruits that are edible, you really need to take advantage of that. The seeds, the small seeds, should also be eaten, especially the seeds that are small enough. You can chew them, and you have really to take advantage of them. By the way, fiber can actually heal not only constipation, but it can also, decrease your risk for heart disease, colon cancer, rectal cancer, diabetes, obesity, and the magic formula for constipation. Many people keep on saying that's a forgotten nutrient. No, they don't actually bother you, that they don't give good attention to fiber. But the good news here is it is always available. And it is so easy to achieve the recommended, fiber content for your intake. It's so easy, but the only thing here is eat a wide variety of food, and you're so sure that you're meeting the right recommendation. You know what? One day I had a patient, and this is actually a 7-year-old patient. This patient was, referred to a surgeon because of the severe stomach pain. The patient was eating a wrong diet. But later on, the doctor come to realize that the patient has dietary problem. And the doctor recommended that the patient should go visit a dietitian. So here's a kind doctor referring to a dietitian. You know what? When this patient reached my office, I started asking the patient on the diet. You know, it's so amazing that the diet was just a typical kid diet. And I want you to really check also your diet and compare to this patient. You know, here is the diet of the patient. The patient, 7 years old, severe constipation, severe abdominal pain, was eating almost daily fried sausage and rice and spaghetti. And the patient was also eating fried chicken and rice for supper. In between meals, he was eating chips. You know, he was eating chichirya and soda or soft drinks. And that is almost the day-to-day diet of this son. So I was really trying to trace the root of the problem. By the way, those of you who are watching our show, we want you really to treat the root of the problem rather than just the symptoms. You know, the problem here is constipation, but you know what? You have really to check the root of the problem. And the root of the problem actually here is obviously ignorance. Okay. You know, I was talking to the mother, and when I asked the mother, do you serve, you know, how do you cook your spaghetti? And then the mother said, no, I only saute garlic and onions and then put lots of ketchup and then corned beef, and that's already my sauce for my spaghetti. You know, if only the mother knew how to cook a healthy spaghetti, I personally believe this won't really happen. You know, we have a very healthy spaghetti, and that is actually made up of fresh tomatoes with the skin and with the seeds. And actually, the kids won't, you know, recognize that it's really fresh from the, you know, made from the fresh tomatoes. And then when I asked the mother for breakfast, I was about to recommend thing. And I was telling the mother, can you serve papaya to the child? And then the mother said, we don't eat papaya because we don't like the smell. Okay? And I was asking her, have you tried cooking oatmeal? And then the mother said, you know, I don't know, you know, how long should I cook the oatmeal? And then I asked again the mother, do you know the spinach? And this is actually, so, you know, the kids would really love eating spinach. And then the mother said, what is the shape of the spinach leaf? You know, when I was really staring to that mother, I can see really ignorance from the face of the mother. You know, I'm sure that the mother wants to give help to the kid, but she's really lacking of nutrition knowledge. And I started teaching the mother about this strategy, you know, by giving her good recipes, by sharing with her some experiences of the success story of those patients who are really constipated. And the mother started gathering all this knowledge. And then later on, she started, you know, experiencing, creating lots and lots of recipes. And you know what? It's so nice because right now the mother is really enjoying cooking. So here is a patient, and the root of the patient is the mother. And the root of the problem of the mother is ignorance. And obviously, what is the solution for ignorance? It is education. That's the reason why this is one of the best programs, because this will provide you with good education. Now, by the way, when I say diet that has no fiber, obviously, meat, poultry, fish, eggs, milk, and cheese contain no dietary fiber. So again, for fiber, you have to go back again to the diet. And when you trace the diet of this kid, obviously, it's only, it's really lacking from fruits and vegetables. So it's so simple to modify this diet. Okay, so again, friends, it's just simple modifications, but the simple modifications can actually help. Okay, so here is, when we go around the companies, we keep on including this kind of program to many people. But a sad experience is, sometimes when people see us, maybe in the malls, in the cities, and they would greet us and they would say, hey, Blessy, you know what? Now, I have everyday bowel movement. On our part, that is, I think, not so fortunate experience, because every time they see us every day they look at me, they remember the lesson about constipation. But anyway, the good news is they find healing once they have already the perfect formula for this kind of sickness. Now here's another patient. He is actually 52 years old, severe constipation. I started attending my seminar. He doesn't eat, poor intake of fruits and vegetables, and he was really constipated. He just attended our seminar in one of the corporate companies, and then we taught them to initially follow a very good diet. Now, sometimes those people who can't really eat fruits and vegetables, we start with fruit blend. Fruit blend is so easy. You have to blend the fruit with, as much as possible, with the skin and with the seeds. And you can actually drink the fruit so that, it's really quick fix. So we taught him how to prepare the fruit blend. It's just watermelon with the seeds as much as possible with the inner portion of the seed, and then drink that with papaya, and then he can have that 2 glasses every day. He started experiencing bowel movement. And then when he went back again to the seminar, we taught them to follow a very good diet, and then later on started knowing and gathering all education. And now he's enjoying really his fruits and vegetables in a plant-based diet. You know what? This person started experiencing the benefit, but he never stopped from there. He started sharing this good news to other people. Now, in fact, one day I saw him, and then he told me, "Hey, Blessy, I have your book, The Healing Wonders of Diet, and I will be carrying this in the north because I have audience waiting for me in one of my seminars." Imagine this person is working in the corporate companies, and he's not an executive, he's a security guard. And even security guard can also be health educator. Here's another patient. This was the patient that was mentioned earlier by Mark and Weanne. She is actually an executive employee, and he is actually severe constipated, poor bowel movement, and poor intake of fruits and vegetables. We started by giving fruit blend, and then later on started experiencing health, and then later on, started teaching the sisters. The sisters, her 2 sisters were actually severe than her. Okay, when it comes to constipation. And you know what? The whole family were actually constipated with the kids. And she started, gathering the family one Saturday afternoon and started bringing out his blender and lecturing on fruits and vegetables with the 3 families, with the kids. You know what? The 3 families started eating the fruits and vegetables, and just recently, I saw her again, and she said the 3 families are now experiencing health. You know what? It's so nice to hear these good stories. Maybe some of you would just think it is just constipation, but if you just correct this constipation, you will be able to feel better, and you will be able to remove all, much of the toxin in your body. The second sister also experienced healing. And, all the family members are now experiencing healing, and many of them are sharing the good news. Now, friends, some of you might think that it is constipation and diet is the solution. Don't stop from diet. You have to consider the right timing for water intake. Now, after your meal, you have to drink your water, at least maybe after 1.5 hours of your meal. And then you make some good plannings. Like when you have your breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning, you make a plan. Maybe at 8:30, you'll have another glass of water. 9:30, another glass of water. 10:30, another glass of water. And then you have to stop from 10:30, and you have to eat your lunch at 12. And you start drinking again after 1.5 hours, and that is actually 1:30 in the afternoon. So drink another glass at 1:30, and then drink another glass at 2:30, and 3:30, another glass at 4:30, at 5:30 maybe, and then stop drinking your water, and then reserve for your supper, and you'll have a good planning for your, fiber and your water and your fiber and water again. Okay, so this can actually help ease our constipation. You know, it's a perfect combination, especially if you include exercise in the program. You know, some people are becoming constipated because they are very sedentary. So, physical activity, you have to plan it well. Those of you who can, who can buy a pedometer or a stridometer, you can easily get this from the, from the malls around you. There are some cheap ones, there are also expensive ones, but you can also find healing by using the pedometer because that can actually encourage you to walk a lot, okay, to move a lot. You know, sometimes when I experience my physical activity, and if I'm just in the office the whole day, my number of strides, my number of steps would even range from 2,000 to 3,000 only. But if I play badminton, you know, I really love badminton because my whole family, my family is really playing badminton. When I play badminton, I could even reach to more than 10,000 steps per day. So again, friends, it is just a matter of planning. Okay? And the good news actually is when you have your game, when you have your physical activity, you're not just controlling constipation, but you are preventing, you are, protecting yourselves from many sickness. And when you have this, I personally believe it's not only for, for the colon, but it is also for your emotions. You know what? Those people who are really constipated, they have anxiety. They have, they are actually persons that are irritable. They are so sensitive. And the best solution actually is to clean the colon. So those of you husbands who are watching this show, if your wife are really not in good mood, you just ask if they have already, experienced good bowel movement. And once we are able to correct this, I'm sure you'll have a good relationship for husband and wife. Those kids who are not so attentive in school, and you try to check the colon, if you can actually clean by using fruits and vegetables in the diet and clean the colon, I'm sure they can have more concentration in school. Those of you who are bosses, managers in the companies, if you have so many stressors around, you try to clean your colon, and that can actually ease some of the stressors. Those of you who are working in the communities, you should actually be models. Educators should be models. We have to experience healing first before we can share it to other people. So again, God bless you, my friends, and you experience the better feeling when you remove all this kind of sickness.
Thank you, Dr. Varona. I'm sure if our viewers would follow these tips, they can also have a pleasant toileting experience. They can say success after each bowel movement.
That's true, Weanne. Truly, knowledge is power. Without power, we won't be able to make the right choices that would help us get rid of the bad habits that we have.
But dear viewers, remember that knowledge is not enough. We must apply the secrets of proper nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, fresh air, rest, and a sincere trust in God in our everyday lives. But let's not just stop there.
Let us share these secrets with the people around us so they too may benefit from it. I am Mark.
And I am Weanne, inviting you to join us on the next episode of
Longevity Secrets.
Bringing hope the world over. Hope Channel.